My friend, the time is drawing near, the shadows are lengthening, the signs are converging, and you, chosen one, are being called to prepare. From ancient days, the Almighty has set forth moments in time, appointments, mysteries hidden until the hour of revelation. March 25. This date is not random, not a mere moment on the calendar, but a marker. A line drawn between what is and what is to come. The call is being sounded. The warnings have gone forth. For those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, the message is clear. You have been chosen, not by man, not by the systems of this world, but by the very one who formed the heavens and the earth. Why March 25? Because it is a threshold, a dividing line between preparation and fulfillment, between the calling and the manifestation. It is a day of reckoning, of decision, of destiny. But hear me. Preparation does not begin on the day itself. No, it begins before. It begins in the quiet places, in the secret chambers where you seek his face. It begins with the breaking of chains that have long held you captive, the turning away from the idols that have stolen your gaze. It is written that the watchman must prepare the way, must sound the alarm when danger approaches. And so I sound it now. The signs have been laid before us. The trumpet is calling you to rise, to shake off the slumber, to take hold of the mantle set before you. But preparation is not merely action. It is surrender. It is repentance. It is aligning your heart with the will of the one who calls you. It is placing your trust not in the strength of your own hand, but in the one who holds all things. March 25 will come. And when it does, the question will not be whether the moment was prepared for you, but whether you were prepared for the moment. So now I ask you, chosen one, will you be ready? Will you stand when the day arrives? Will you answer the call with all your heart, with all your strength, with all your soul? The time is short, the hour is late. Prepare before the appointed day, for the Almighty has chosen you for such a time as this. May he grant you the wisdom to see, the courage to act, and the faith to endure. Amen. March 25 is not just a date on the calendar. It is a divine appointment, a moment set apart from the beginning of time. There are moments in history when the veil between the earthly and the heavenly grows thin, when the mysteries of the ages draw near to their revelation. March 25 is one of those moments. It is a threshold, a dividing line between what has been and what is about to unfold. And yet, like all divine appointments, it does not come unannounced. The signs are there for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. But what is this appointment, and why does it matter so greatly? The answer lies in the nature of divine timing. Throughout history, there have been appointed times, moments, marked by the Almighty for specific purposes. These moments are not random or accidental. They are written into the fabric of creation itself. They are kairos moments, times of significance that stand apart from the ordinary flow of days and years. March 25 represents such a moment. It is a day woven into the greater tapestry of destiny. For some it may appear as just another day, passing without notice. But for those who understand, for those who are called, it is a day of convergence. It is a point at which past, present, and future intersect, where the preparations made beforehand determine the outcome of what is to come. This is why the call has gone forth. The alarm has been sounded. The trumpet has been blown. But the significance of March 25 does not begin on that day alone. It begins before. The preparation must precede the appointment. The groundwork must be laid. The foundation must be established. For when the appointed time arrives, it is too late to prepare. One must already be ready. The calling of the chosen one is not a trivial matter. It is not a task to be taken lightly or dismissed as coincidence. It is a sacred charge, a responsibility placed upon the shoulders of those who have been set apart. But with that calling comes the requirement of preparation. And preparation True preparation is not about external actions alone. It is about the alignment of the heart, the cleansing of the spirit, the sharpening of the soul. March 25 is not just a date, it is an invitation to rise above complacency, to break free from the chains of distraction, and to embrace the higher calling for which one was created. It is a moment designed to test the readiness of the chosen one, to reveal the strength of their commitment, their faith, and their resolve. And yet it is not a test of worthiness, but a test of preparedness. In the days leading up to March 25, the chosen one must understand that preparation is an act of faith. It is the acknowledgement that something greater is coming, something beyond human understanding and control. To prepare is to acknowledge that the Almighty's timing is perfect and that His purposes will be fulfilled. But it is also an acknowledgement of one's own responsibility to respond to the call, to do what must be done, to stand ready when the appointed time arrives. Too often people wait for the moment to come before they act. They wait for the sign, the proof, the certainty. But that is not how divine appointments work. The preparation must be done in faith, in anticipation of what is to come. It requires the courage to step forward even when the full picture is not yet revealed. It requires the discipline to cleanse one's heart, to cast off that which hinders, and to embrace the path laid out by the one who calls. March 25 is approaching. It is not merely a date, but a destiny. It is not a deadline, but a doorway. For those who have been chosen, it is a moment of profound significance. But the time to prepare is now, not later. The time to act is now, not when the day arrives. The day itself is simply the manifestation of what has already been prepared. And so the chosen one must heed the call, must rise to the challenge, and must prepare before the appointed hour arrives. The call to prepare is not something to be taken lightly. For preparation is the foundation upon which destiny is fulfilled. The message has been given, the warning sounded, and the urgency of the moment cannot be ignored. But preparation is not something that happens in an instant. It is a process, a journey, a refining of the soul that begins long before the appointed day arrives. And so, the time to prepare for March 25 is not on that day. To prepare before is to recognize the gravity of what is to come. It is to understand that the appointed time is not merely a day on the calendar, but a divine encounter that requires readiness of heart, mind, and spirit. Those who are called cannot afford to wait until the hour arrives to make themselves ready. The work of preparation must begin now, in the quiet, in the unseen, in the places where faith is forged and character is built. Preparation is not simply about making plans or setting intentions. It is about transformation. It is about stripping away the distractions, the doubts, the chains that have kept the chosen one from stepping fully into their calling. It is about repentance, turning away from what is lesser to embrace what is higher. It is about aligning oneself with the purpose for which one has been called. But preparation is also warfare. It is the act of standing guard over the soul, of shielding oneself from the influences and temptations that would seek to derail the journey. It is the discipline of remaining vigilant, of not allowing complacency to take root, for complacency is the enemy of preparation, and hesitation is the thief of destiny. The process of preparation requires humility, the willingness to acknowledge one's own weaknesses and to seek the strength that only the Almighty can provide. It requires surrender, the laying down of one's own desires and ambitions to take up the mantle that has been offered. And it requires courage, the resolve to continue pressing forward even when the way is unclear and the journey difficult. To prepare before the appointed time means to embrace the process, however challenging it may be. It is to understand that the preparation itself is part of the calling. The refining, the purifying, the breaking and remaking, these are not obstacles to be avoided, but rather the necessary steps of transformation. Without them, the chosen one cannot stand when the day of reckoning arrives. But what does it mean to prepare? It means seeking the truth with all one's heart. It means casting aside that which hinders, be it fear, pride, doubt, or distraction. It means immersing oneself in the presence of the one who calls, allowing his light to expose the darkness within and replace it with his own strength and wisdom. It means praying without ceasing, interceding not only for oneself, but for the purpose to which one has been called. It means fasting from the voices of the world to hear the voice of the Almighty more clearly. It means guarding one's heart, purifying one's motives, and consecrating oneself for the work that lies ahead. It also means taking action. Preparation is not merely a state of being, it is a state of doing. It is building, strengthening, and equipping oneself for the mission that awaits. It is training the mind to be sharp, the heart to be pure, and the spirit to be steadfast. It is preparing both in the natural and the spiritual, for the two are not separate but intertwined. The chosen one must not mistake delay for prep. Waiting idly for the appointed time to arrive is the surest way to be found unprepared when the moment comes. To prepare is to act now, not later. To seek now, not when it is convenient. To yield now, not when circumstances are favorable. The Almighty has given the call. The warning has been sounded, and the message is clear. Prepare before. For when March 25 arrives, it will not wait for those who are still trying to make themselves ready. The time to prepare is now. The time to respond is now. The time to align oneself with the purpose for which one has been called is now. Will the chosen one heed the call? Will they take the steps necessary to prepare before the appointed day arrives? Or will they allow the moment to pass them by, unready and unprepared? The choice is theirs, but the time to choose is now. The term chosen one is not a title to be worn lightly. It is not a mere compliment or flattering label. It is a mantle, a calling, a weight of responsibility bestowed by the Almighty himself. To be called the chosen one means to be set apart for a purpose greater than oneself, a purpose that stretches beyond the confines of personal desires or ambitions. It is a summons to stand where others will not, to speak when others remain silent, to act when others hesitate. But what does it mean to be chosen? It is not about superiority or special privilege. It is about divine selection, about being entrusted with something sacred. Throughout history, the Almighty has chosen individuals to fulfill specific purposes, to stand as beacons of light in the midst of darkness, to deliver messages of warning and hope, to lead, to heal, to build. But the calling of the chosen one always comes with a cost, and it always comes with preparation. You, the chosen one, have been called not for your own sake, but for a mission that transcends your own life. To be chosen is to carry a burden that others do not understand. It is to be marked, to be set apart, to be given a vision of what others cannot see. And with that vision comes the obligation to act. For to see and not respond is to turn away from the very purpose for which you were created. The calling of the chosen one is not a comfortable thing. It requires sacrifice, devotion, and perseverance. It demands the courage to go against the tide, to face opposition, to endure trials that others may never face. But above all, it requires readiness, a readiness that cannot be achieved in a moment, but only through diligent preparation. You have been called to prepare before the appointed day arrives. For when March 25 comes, it will not wait for you to find your footing. It will not pause for you to gather your strength. You must be ready, you must be equipped, and you must understand the weight of the calling upon your life. To be the chosen one means to be entrusted with revelation. It means seeing beyond the surface, discerning the signs, understanding the mysteries that others may overlook. It is a calling that requires discernment, for not everything that appears significant is of the Almighty, and not every voice that speaks claims truth. To be chosen is to walk with wisdom, to test all things, to hold fast to that which is good. But it is not enough to see. It is not enough to hear. The calling requires action. It requires a response. It requires preparation that begins before the appointed day. For that day will be the test of your readiness. And readiness is not simply a matter of knowledge or intention. It is a matter of transformation. You have been called to be transformed, to be molded and shaped by the hands of the one who chose you, to be refined through trials, purified through repentance, strengthened through faith. The calling is not an invitation to complacency. It is a summons to rise, to grow, to prepare. The identity of the chosen one is not about claiming greatness for oneself. It is about embracing the responsibility given to you. It is about becoming a vessel through which the Almighty's purpose can flow. And that purpose is not yours to define, but yours to fulfill. To be chosen is to be entrusted with a mission, and that mission requires preparation. It requires the humility to acknowledge your own weaknesses and the strength to seek the one who empowers you. It requires the discipline to resist distraction and the courage to face whatever challenges may arise. March 25 is approaching, but your preparation cannot wait until then. The calling demands action now. The calling demands surrender now. The calling demands that you embrace your identity as the chosen one with all that it entails. This is your moment. This is your calling. And the question is not whether you are chosen. The question is whether you will choose to respond. For the mantle is yours to bear, but only if you are willing to prepare before the appointed day arrives. The warning has gone forth. The trumpet has sounded. It echoes through the corridors of time, reverberating with a message of urgency and awakening. It is not a sound meant to be ignored or taken lightly. It is a call to the chosen one, to you, to rise from the slumber of complacency and prepare for what is coming. For March 25 approaches, and with it a moment of destiny. But the moment of awakening is not then. It is now. The alarm has been sounded not to bring fear, but to bring awareness. Awareness of the lateness of the hour, of the urgency of the task, of the significance of the calling. Too many wander through life with eyes closed, deaf to the voice that calls them to rise, distracted by the noise of the world. But to be chosen is to be called out of that slumber, to be shaken from the grip of comfort and awakened to the reality of the task at hand. Awakening is not a gentle process. It is often disruptive, unsettling, even painful. It requires confronting the truth, seeing oneself with clarity, acknowledging the areas of weakness and compromise. It means facing the chains that have held you captive, the lies you have believed, the wounds you have ignored. For as long as these remain, the preparation cannot be completed. And without preparation, the calling cannot be fulfilled. But awakening is also a gift. It is the opening of the eyes to a greater reality, the unveiling of a purpose that transcends the mundane. It is the moment when the chosen one realizes that they were not meant for mediocrity, but for greatness. Not greatness as the world defines it, but greatness as the Almighty defines it. A greatness rooted in obedience, faithfulness, and purpose. The warning has been given not only to alert, but to empower. It is an invitation to respond, to rise, to prepare. It is a call to separate oneself from the distractions and deceptions that would pull the chosen one away from their true purpose. For the enemy of destiny is not always opposition. Sometimes it is mere distraction. Sometimes it is the slow drift into apathy, the quiet acceptance of things as they are, rather than the pursuit of what they were meant to be. But the warning also carries a promise for those who heed it, who respond to the call to awaken. There is the assurance of guidance, of strength, of empowerment. The Almighty does not issue warnings without also providing the means to respond. The trumpet that sounds the alarm is also the trumpet that calls forth the courage to act. Yet there is a choice to be made. For the alarm may sound, but it can be ignored. The warning may go forth, but it can be dismissed. The trumpet may blow, but its call can be drowned out by the clamor of daily life. The chosen one must decide whether they will allow the awakening to take place or whether they will remain in the slumber of complacency. Awakening is not merely a moment of awareness. It is a process of transformation. It begins with seeing, but it continues with action. It requires not only recognizing the call, but responding to it with all that one is. And it is not enough to awaken once. It is a continual process of remaining alert, vigilant, prepared. The warning has come because time is short, the day approaches, and with it the moment of destiny. But the chosen one is not called to wait passively for that moment to arrive. They are called to prepare, to respond, to engage with the calling that has been placed upon their life. This awakening is not for the faint of heart. It requires courage, resolve, and persistence. It requires the willingness to confront the darkness within and to allow the light to penetrate every corner of the soul. It requires a determination to press forward, to rise above every obstacle, to pursue the purpose for which one has been called. March 25 will not wait. It will arrive as surely as the sun rises. The question is whether the chosen one will be awake and ready when it does. The warning has been given, the trumpet has sounded, the call to awaken has gone forth. Will the chosen one respond? Will they embrace the process of awakening and preparation before the appointed day arrives? The choice remains theirs, but the time to choose is now. Faith and surrender, two words that seem simple, but carry profound weight when it comes to preparation for the appointed day. To prepare before March 25 is not only about action strategies or outward readiness. It is about the posture of the heart, the alignment of the soul with the one who has called you. And this alignment can only be achieved through faith and surrender. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It is the assurance that there is purpose behind the call, even when the path is unclear. Faith is the belief that the Almighty has appointed you for such a time as this, that the calling upon your life is not an accident or coincidence. It is a divine commission meant to be fulfilled. But faith alone is not enough. Faith must be accompanied by surrender. Surrender is the act of yielding everything. Your desires, your fears, your ambitions, your very will, into the hands of the one who called you. It is acknowledging that your strength is not enough, that your wisdom is insufficient, that your abilities are limited. Surrender is the letting go of control, the relinquishing of every burden that would hinder you from fulfilling your purpose. It is trusting the one who called you to provide all that is needed to complete the journey. But surrender is not a one-time act. It is a daily, even moment-by-moment choice. It is the continual laying down of oneself before the one who holds all things. And it is not an easy choice. The human heart resists surrender because it craves control. It fears the unknown. It clings to comfort and familiarity. But true preparation requires absolute surrender. It requires a willingness to be transformed, to be molded and refined, even if the process is painful. Faith and surrender are intertwined. One cannot truly exist without the other. Faith without surrender is mere presumption. The belief that one can achieve divine purposes through human effort alone. And surrender without faith is mere resignation, the giving up of hope without the assurance of a higher calling. The two must walk hand in hand, strengthening each other, guiding each step of the preparation process. The chosen one must understand that preparation is not about striving in one's own strength. It is about embracing the power of faith and surrender to accomplish what is impossible by human means. It is about stepping out in faith even when the way is unclear, even when the obstacles seem insurmountable. It is about releasing every fear, every doubt, every hesitation, and allowing the Almighty to lead. This preparation requires a radical trust. It requires believing that the one who called you is faithful to complete the work he has begun. It requires believing that even the trials, the delays, the setbacks are all part of the preparation. Nothing is wasted. Every challenge is meant to strengthen your faith, to deepen your surrender, to prepare you for the appointed day. But faith and surrender are not passive states. They demand action. Faith must be lived out, demonstrated through obedience, through perseverance, through a relentless pursuit of the calling upon your life. And surrender must be practiced, a conscious choice to yield your will to a greater purpose, to release control and embrace trust. As March 25 approaches, the call to faith and surrender becomes more urgent, for it is through faith and surrender that true preparation takes place. It is through faith that you see beyond the present moment, beyond the obstacles, beyond the fears, and it is through surrender that you receive the strength and guidance to overcome those obstacles and fulfill your purpose. Faith and surrender are not signs of weakness, they are signs of strength. They are the keys that unlock the fullness of the calling upon your life. They are the means by which you prepare before the appointed day arrives. For when that day comes, when the moment of destiny is at hand, only those who have walked in faith and surrender will be truly ready. The question now is, will you embrace this path? Will you choose to walk in faith even when the way is uncertain? Will you choose to surrender even when the cost is great? The time to prepare is now. The call to faith and surrender is now. The appointed day approaches, but your readiness depends on how you respond today. March 25 is approaching, a day marked by destiny, a day of divine appointment. But as that day draws near, a critical truth must be embraced. Preparation must be completed before the appointed time arrives. This urgency is not one of panic, but of purpose. The calling has been given, the warning sounded, the trumpet blown. But when March 25 arrives, it will be too late to prepare. Readiness must be achieved before that moment, not during it. The essence of preparation is completion. It is the culmination of every effort, every sacrifice, every moment of faith and surrender. It is the fulfillment of the process that began the moment the calling was received. And while the journey continues beyond March 25, the preparation for that appointed time must be completed beforehand. To neglect this truth is to jeopardize the very purpose for which the chosen one has been called. Procrastination is a thief of destiny. How often do people wait, delaying their preparation until the moment of crisis is upon them? How often do they convince themselves that there will always be more time, more opportunities, more chances to prepare? But destiny does not wait. The appointed time does not pause to accommodate hesitation. When March 25 arrives, the preparation must already be completed. The chosen one must be ready. But what does it mean to be ready? It means to have accomplished the work of preparation in every area. Spiritually, it means having laid down every burden, repented of every sin, aligned oneself with the calling of the Almighty. It means having drawn near to the one who called you, having sought his guidance, having received his strength. Mentally, it means having renewed the mind, having cast off doubts and embraced the truth of the calling. It means having established a clarity of vision, a focus that cannot be shaken by distraction or fear. It means having cultivated wisdom, discernment, and understanding to navigate the path ahead. Emotionally, it means having released every fear, every anxiety, every insecurity that would hinder the fulfillment of the calling. It means having embraced courage, determination, and resilience. It means having anchored your identity not in the approval of others, but in the one who called you. And physically, it means having taken the steps necessary to prepare your surroundings, your resources, your environment to support the mission ahead. Preparation is holistic. It encompasses every aspect of your being. To be prepared in one area while neglecting another is to be only partially ready. And partial readiness is not readiness at all. But completion of preparation is not only about fulfilling tasks. It is about becoming the person you were called to be, becoming the vessel through which the Almighty's purpose can flow without hindrance, becoming the chosen one in every sense of the word. For the preparation is not only for the mission, but for the transformation of the one who is called. To complete your preparation before March 25 means to reach a place of readiness where doubt has been replaced by faith, where hesitation has been replaced by courage, where complacency has been replaced by passion. It means to stand firm in the knowledge that you have done everything within your power to prepare, that you have sought the guidance of the Almighty, embraced the refining process, and surrendered fully to the call. But there is a danger in believing that preparation can be delayed. The illusion of time is a trap that has ensnared many. They wait, convinced that the moment of decision can be postponed. But when the appointed time arrives, there will be no room for preparation, only for action, only for fulfillment. The chosen one must understand that readiness is not something to be achieved at the last moment. It is something to be established before the moment arrives, for when March 25 dawns, the preparation must already be completed, the foundation must already be laid, the vessel must already be made ready to carry out the purpose for which it was created. The call to prepare before is not one of harshness, but of mercy. It is an invitation to be ready, to be empowered, to be equipped. It is a call to completeness, and completeness is only achieved through diligence, persistence, and the willingness to be transformed. March 25 will come. The moment of destiny will arrive, and when it does, there will be no time left to prepare. The question is, will you be ready? Will you have completed the preparation required of you, or will you be found lacking, unprepared for the task you were called to fulfill? The choice remains yours, but the time to choose is now. The time to act is now. The time to complete your preparation is now. For the appointed day is fast approaching, and readiness cannot be achieved once it has arrived.